Okay, you guys, what are AO lasers? Those look amazing, and there's so much to them. In order to jump in, what I'm going to prepare you for is we're going to jump into a little bit of science, a little bit of background, and then we're going to get to the details that you really want to know. And I know you want to know price and points and all those things around it, and what they do and why we made them. In order to get there, I know that some will be watching this that are novices to lasers, and then some will be experts. And hopefully for the experts, this is a great refresher. And for the novice, we're going to carefully walk you right through everything that you need to know, at least to know why AO lasers exist. So let's take a step back here. What are lasers themselves? Well, lasers are focused photonic energy, which is a concentrated beam of light at a specific single wavelength. So think of wavelength, right? They are unusual in the world because they're a specific type of light source. They're concentrated. They're very different than what you would see in like a light bulb or a flashlight, which is not very concentrated. It's very broad, very, very wide. You're taking a wavelength and it's very specific, single, and you're narrowing its output. It technically is an optical amplification of electromagnetic stimulation. Okay, that's probably going a little too far, right? We don't need to know that. Focus light is what we're thinking about. Focus light of a single wavelength, and the distance of that wavelength is what's important. It's referred to in nanometers. A nanometer is the cycle in a wavelength that is the same. It's measured. You take the same point, you capture, you take the same point again, and that's the cycle. So what's the distance of that cycle? That's how many nanometers that wavelength is. And so typically a nanometer is very small. It's 1/1000th of a meter. And so whether you're talking about a wavelength of light or whether you're talking about nanometers when it comes to distance between atoms, like in molecules separated, you're talking about nanotechnology as a whole. What are they good for? Well, in order to understand this, let's pick a starting point in order to figure out what the benefits are and how they actually can be used for you and for me. This started in 1967 by Ender Mester from a university in Budapest, was shaving the backs of mice, and he was shining 694 nanometer red wavelength light on the backs of a group of mice. He was investigating a certain type of cancer in the mice, and to his surprise, the hair on the backs of the mice that had been shown the light grew back faster than the control group that had had no light shown on them. He was surprised at this. He called this phenomenon photobiomodulation. The term has later then evolved in what's called now photobiomodulation, or PBM. As of January 2019, since 67, there have been over 6,000 papers published regarding the efficacy of using light therapy, or this PBM, on things like wound healing, as an anti-inflammatory, and, like with the mice, hair growth. So it's a fairly recent science, 1967 till now, but 6,000 papers on this means that there's been a lot of work looking into the efficacy of using photobiomodulation in our daily lives. The field of using lasers and light therapy has only grown and grown. In 2001, there were 1,204 active clinical trials using lasers for medical applications. These 1,204 active trials were in process, meaning a lot of money was being spent to show where these work and where they may not work. That is a great deal of effort. That's a great deal of money. And it's also a great deal of credibility that's coming to the use of photobiomodulation, or PBM, laser light for our benefit. What have they found in this course of 6,000 papers and all this clinical work? Well, they have found that the how the lasers work leads to why we should use lasers for our well-being. Laser light enters the skin. So let's jump into the how. As the laser light enters the skin, about 4 to 7% is reflected and scattered. There are additional parts that are scattered slightly in that range, right? And so thus we have the 4 to 7% range. The remainder is passed through the tissue. This passing of light energy through the tissue is called transmission. The photon energy accepted by the cells is called absorption. Absorption is what we're going for. This absorption is the transforming of light energy into heat. And some of that energy then is absorbed by the tissues in a way that's called chromophore, or into a chromophore. This is a color-carrying molecule. They fragment and then eliminate cells without damaging surrounding tissues. This then influences many parts of the body, including DNA, amino acids, melanins, and others. You can think about it. These specially colored molecules within the cells, they're color absorbers. They make use through heat, the energy from the light. That then eliminates things we don't want in order to help things we do want. The key, that's the kind of the narrow summary of what takes place. In using lasers to a benefit, there is a key, and the key is called the first law of photochemistry. The first law is the dependent nature of absorbing the maximum amount of light possible for those parts of the cell to use that energy for benefits to the cell, right? This is achieved by using a super-tiered laser that has a very limited variability in wavelength in order to limit the reflection and the scattering that takes place when the light is entering the skin. I'm saying a lot, but the key here is that we're trying to use really refined lasers to penetrate as deep as possible so that the cells in that area that we're trying to get benefit from actually do get the maximum benefit from the energy being offered. With this interesting background, why would we come up with AO lasers? What are they? And can they actually benefit us? Well, of course, AO lasers, brought to you by Solex, are this super tiered quality of laser. In fact, the quality is so high that the variability within the laser prescript is only 2 nanometers. Meaning if I'm looking at a 635 there's only a 2 nanometer different potential in that wavelength. That is a very high tiered. Usually a lot of these will deal in percentages like 5 and 10%, and obviously getting worse as the lower quality of the laser that you get. When you're dealing with lasers with a 2 nanometer, you're dealing in a super tiered laser quality. A great deal of lasers and laser tools do great work. But in order to achieve a new level of benefit that reduces the time needed for use and allows for maximum penetration and purpose, we need this super tier. AO lasers have that. AO lasers are only available to be used with the AO hub. Why is that important? Why wouldn't we just make a laser that you can plug in on your own and use whenever you want? Well, there is a tremendous bit of design that has gone into building the medium of the hub. We launched it as a starter kit with all of the benefits for neural engagement. Here we're adapting, not only enhancing that neural engagement and support, but what we're doing is trying to create communication from the AO scan technology delivered in such a way that the laser can be paired with it and achieve the frequency sought, even through the laser light. So what does that look like when you're thinking about this? Well, let's say I can take a 450 nanometer laser and I can pulse that laser for the acne frequency in the AO scan technology to eliminate or reduce acne. And then what happens when I'm using the AO scan technology to send that signaling through that 450 nanometer laser, I am pulsing the laser in a way that pairs to both modalities, the laser light and the frequency benefit. The thing that's powerful in that is that you start to understand that you're not only achieving one thing, you're achieving multiple things in synchronicity. Think of broader reaches in this sort of application when you're dealing with pain, or you're trying to get collagen stimulation, or you're trying to get tissue repair. When you're pairing frequency with PBM, they work together, and we know they work together for greater benefit. In fact, studies have shown that pulsed photobiomodulation actually had significant benefits over continuous photobiomodulation, meaning the continuous light and the pulsed light, the frequency light actually did better than the continuous light. Now, that doesn't have to be the case all the time, but that is a perfect illustration of pairing the AO scan technology through the hub into these laser lights. One study, in fact, found that blue light, when pulsed, was 33% more antimicrobial than a continuous PBM. That 33% is a stark number when you're talking about both do good work, but one has a third better performance in achieving the results you want. As I mentioned, these lasers are super high quality that can only be used with the hub. One thing that I want to mention though, among the cautions, because these are super high quality, each set of lasers comes with a pair of protective goggles. If you have somebody helping you with the lasers, both of you must be wearing the goggles when using the lasers. You should never look directly into the lasers. You should never point the lasers at anyone else's eyes. The lasers should never be left unattended, and they should never be left on continuously. That's our disclaimer, right? And you'll see that again in the packaging if you decide that the lasers are for you. But now let's get into some of the real fun stuff. That great hype video leads to so much stuff that we're going to talk about now. And like I said, there's 6,000 papers on this. So let's get into what you get for the AO set of lasers. What is the benefit? What good is it going to do for you? Well, the AO lasers come in a set of 6 superior quality lasers as mentioned, each with a specific nanometer. 1, blue, 450 nanometer. 2, green, 520 nanometer. 3, red, 635 nanometer. And now it gets to a whole new level of fun. The infrared, 810 nanometer, 980 nanometer, and hold on, 1064 nanometer. Those laser experts out there know what 1064 is, and they know the value of that laser. Let me rattle off a few of each of the laser's benefits to the body. And I'm just going to bullet point these for you, okay? In the 450, we're talking about suppressing acne. It's antimicrobial, stimulates hair growth. It supports the body's natural vitamin D manufacturing. It is shown to provide post-operative comfort, meaning lowering pain levels without drugs. Improved wound healing, improved bone regeneration. This nanometer is shown to be effective in alleviating fatigue and daytime sleeping. It restores mitochondrial respiration. I love the idea of coupling that with something like blue. All right, let's talk about the 520 nanometer. Improved cellulite appearance, aka reduced appearance. Reduced swelling or inflammation. This nanometer, when used, stimulates mitochondrial activity as well. A great one, supports the NRF2 expression. This is the body's natural antioxidants defense system that just naturally comes. This helps regulate that. Think about think and prime. Promotes muscle growth. Reduces time in wound healing. In fact, it stimulated the initial healing process in this tissue in some studies. Other studies have shown it to stimulate creation of new blood vessels, to reduce wound size. And an interesting study showed that the circumference of hips and waist and upper abdomen was reduced with this particular light exposure. 635. All right. Reduced pain within a 7-day period. That was the specific parameters of that test. Collagen production promoter, shown to have a greater pain-free experience while conscious, above other wavelengths. And so this was a powerhouse when reducing pain. Promotes blood circulation. Let's jump into the infrareds. 810. This has shown that to have a great impact on wound closure and has been coupled with the increase of collagen expression. It is also shown to have an enhanced neuropeptide secretion. This is what helps regulate the messaging within the neurological system of body functions. Strong brain support, neurogenesis. This is new neurons formed within the brain and reduced neural inflammation. 980, we're going to talk about reduced inflammation among a bunch of other things that we won't get into right now. And then 1064, because I don't have a whole lot of time. 1064 is a powerhouse. It promotes new neuron connections within the brain, reduce the appearance of facial redness, has to do with coloring, helps resolve vascular lesions, broken capillaries, spider veins is what we're thinking about. It helps stimulate new collagen as well, and elastin. Elastin is the reaction of the skin on the top being able to be pulled down and be elastic. Helps resolve fine lines and wrinkles. A lot of people will love that one. Addresses concerns around pigmentation. Think about age spots, sun damage, dark pigmentation around the eyes. Remember, don't point it in the eyes, around the eyes. Reduced pain has been shown with this nanometer. Increased range of motion in joints. It supports collagen thickness and bone density. You guys, I just rattled off a whole bunch of stuff. I'm sorry if it was too fast. There's so much more that these 6 different nanometer lasers can do. But again, when I talked about the superiority of the lasers, one of the things that I wanted to address and why we created them was because of the duration that is needed. How long do you use these lasers when you're trying to work on anything specific? Typically, it's a 1 to 3 minute of application per area and 2 to 4 times a week on average. Now, there's a broad range of applications, and we're going to be sharing with you a great deal of how this can be used, different protocols in the kit that you buy. But in order to understand it, you can at least understand that the application is quick and easy. It doesn't take half the day to deal with lasers. They actually are very effective in short amounts of time because of the power that they're using. Included in your laser package is a guide that will be supportive in directing the use with pressure points, meridian points, not only to achieve support for the body, but also with emotional support as well. These range of lasers support balancing emotions like anxiety, insomnia, stress. They help promote relaxation, mental clarity, improve sleep, hypertension, and so much more. Chronic issues should be addressed as well. You can use these lasers for dealing with things like pain. Cosmetic concerns can be improved, not only with the collagen production support, but the wrinkles and the age spots and scarring as well. These are the top of the line lasers that anyone can use, and they don't cost thousands of dollars. In fact, let me tell you a little story about one laser that Lauren recently purchased. It was the 1064. It's a great laser, and this product that he bought is a phenomenal product. It's a dedicated laser that he bought with great power to reach deep into the body's tissues. Do you want to know how much it cost? The one laser? $3,500. it surely is worth that. But one of the things that we've always wanted to do here at Solex is challenge the status quo. If we can make it better, better as in a laser, better in its functionality, and even better in its price point, we will do that. That laser that Lauren bought, it didn't connect to a hub, and it couldn't be pulsed to the frequency sought in the AO scan technology, right? So you're stuck with the dedicated continuous laser for whatever beneficial application. Well, like I said, the AO scan lasers do not cost $3,500. Kai, what do they cost? Okay, drum roll. All 6 lasers are available for less than $1,000. We are offering the best price in the world, $990 with 693 points. That is phenomenal. Like I just said, one laser could be bought for that price point. And now you get all 6 high superior quality lasers that connect with the hub. Dealing with the hub, if you don't have the hub yet, that means that you can get this combination actually, the hub with all of its neural engagement and the lasers. There's a special right now. It's on $3,800. From brain to skin, you're going to be touching everything and working synergistically. I think with lasers as the first modality that's an adapter to the starter kit takes the hub experience to a brand new level. You're taking the AO scan technology to a new level. This will help you take your health to a new level with the AO lasers. They are phenomenal. They are powerful in every way. I hope that you have a great Thanksgiving. I hope that you have a wonderful holiday season. Enjoy all that we can give in this Black Friday sale, and we'll see you next week.
Have you ever felt frustrated waiting to be seen when you're not feeling your best? Or ever struggled through tests and expensive procedures without ever finding real relief? Imagine if you could get a better understanding of your overall well-being right now, in minutes. What would that mean to you, or to your family? We'd like you to know there's a whole new way to improve your comprehension surrounding your wellness, using a total body scanner unlike any other, right in your own home. This groundbreaking new technology helps you to better understand your body's needs and wellness status, and it's available to you and your family right now. Here's how the science works. Every organ in the human body vibrates at a particular frequency. When illness appears, this frequency changes. Think about it like tuning a guitar. When the string frequencies are incorrect, the music will not sound harmonious. When your body's frequencies are restored, you restore harmony to your whole body, energizing and optimizing your mental, emotional, and nutritional states. We found that people who experienced this technology were so excited they started telling everyone. So we also created an income opportunity where people can earn a little extra by sharing the product. No more wondering, no more worrying. Take charge of creating your best life. Have you ever felt frustrated waiting to be seen when you're not feeling your best? Or ever struggled through tests and expensive procedures without ever finding real relief? Imagine if you could get a better understanding of your overall well-being right now, in minutes. What would that mean to you, or to your family? We'd like you to know there's a whole new way to improve your comprehension surrounding your wellness, using a total body scanner unlike any other, right in your own home. This groundbreaking new technology helps you to better understand your body's needs and wellness status, and it's available to you and your family right now. Here's how the science works. Every organ in the human body vibrates at a particular frequency. When illness appears, this frequency changes. Think about it like tuning a guitar. When the string frequencies are incorrect, the music will not sound harmonious. When your body's frequencies are restored, you restore harmony to your whole body, energizing and optimizing your mental, emotional, and nutritional states. We found that people who experienced this technology were so excited they started telling everyone. So we also created an income opportunity where people can earn a little extra by sharing the product. No more wondering, no more worrying. Take charge of creating your best life.